The Tuesday news day. Time to leisurely dip our toes into headlines and I gotta get this out quick before anything else happens. That's right, I'm your host, Andrew. This is Crypto Espresso, your teeny tiny daily shot of caffeinated crypto headlines. Go, go, go! Whew, okay, deep breath. First up, FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried has been arrested in the Bahamas. The U.S. has filed criminal charges against the 30-year-old, and reports now suggest they include wire fraud, securities fraud, and money laundering. SBF is now being held in custody, and the Bahamas is anticipating that an extradition request will be submitted. Meanwhile, the SEC has confirmed that it has authorized charges of its own. SBF remains in custody and spent the night in a jail cell. He is due to appear in a Bahamian court later today, and reports from the New York Times suggest he was cooperative during his arrest. Although the Bahamas and the US do have an extradition treaty, it could be weeks before SBF is flown to America, and potentially even longer than that. And if you are looking forward to SBF's testimony in front of the House Financial Services Committee later today, well, you've probably figured out by now that's not happening anymore. Committee Chairwoman Representative Maxine Waters has said that she was surprised to hear he has been taken into custody. In a statement late last night, she added, "The American public deserves to hear directly from Mr. Bankman-Fried about the actions that have harmed over 1 million people and wiped out the hard-earned life savings of so many. The public has been waiting eagerly to get these answers under oath before Congress, and the timing of this arrest denies the public this opportunity." Nonetheless, she said it was about time that the process to bring SBF to justice has begun, though if only about time was, about 24 hours later. And finally, SBF will not be in attendance, but the committee's hearing is still going ahead, and we'll hear from FTX's new CEO, John Ray III. He will reveal FTX's unacceptable management practices during SBF's time running the company. Said unacceptable management practices include executives being able to access systems storing customer assets, private keys storing hundreds of millions of dollars worth of crypto being stored without any encryption, and Alameda Research being allowed to borrow funds directly from FTX without any effective limits. Ray will also highlight a spending binge that saw $5 billion spent on a plethora of businesses and investments, many of which may be worth only a fraction of what was paid for them. The answers he gives to US politicians later could prove illuminating. And speaking of illuminating, brighten our day by liking this video, subscribing to our YouTube channel, and clicking on that little bell icon to get buzzed whenever a new Crypto Espresso video goes live. On yesterday's video, Mr. Usi, or M. Rusi, I'm going with Mr. Usi, said, "I was previously shouted out for naming the SBF Amazon show Samwell the Bankman's Fraud. Now that he's been officially arrested, so I propose an addendum, Scamwell Bankman's Fraud. Adieu, Andrew." Merci beaucoup, Monsieur Usi. Well, he's only been arrested, so let's name him Alleged Scamwell Bank Run Fraud. Much better. If you have any wonderful comments, be sure to leave them below because I read them. I'll shout out my favorites, and I'll digest harsh criticisms by rocking back and forth in a corner somewhere crying to myself. Questions about our headlines or crypto in general? Hey, just ask Alex in that description below. Alex is a great resource for all things Web3 and that metaverse doohickey, and that about does it for today. Again, I've been your host, Andrew. These have been your headlines that hopefully won't be out of date in like 5 minutes, and we'll see all of your beautiful faces tomorrow.